This video is brought to you by catbeast.com. Design your own custom snapbacks and hats.
JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script. Big Show and Ryback, Strowman and Roman. Get off my fucking TV, especially Eva Marie. All you fucking goons, just grab a cold beer. The man of the hour is finally here. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Thank you so much for tuning back into the channel on this Sunday morning, Battleground Sunday, motherfucker. July 23rd, 2017. This is, of course, the #1 fucking podcast right here on YouTube.com for everything WWE. This is Off the Script, episode 179, part number 3. For Battleground Sunday. Just a quick viewing notification for you guys. We have Battleground review coming up after the pay-per-view right here on the channel. Make sure you guys tune in around 12 midnight. The review should be up by then, hopefully, if all goes well with YouTube. I will be live streaming my reactions for Battleground tonight live on my Twitch channel. So if you guys don't know what Twitch is, it is a platform where I am usually on Wednesdays and the occasional Sunday, which I'm going to make it every pay-per-view Sunday. Probably not for SummerSlam because I'll be in Brooklyn. But this Sunday, we're going to be doing live reactions for Battleground 2017. So if you guys are probably going to watch the show, you can watch along with me. You guys can get my live reactions in real time before I even do my review. So all you have to do is go follow my Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/JD from New York. So make sure you guys go and follow me on there. We have a very, very good chance of breaking 3,000 followers on Twitch, which would be absolutely phenomenal, no pun intended, to the great AJ Styles. But I would really love if you guys go over there and follow. Last time we did it was for Great Balls of Fire. We had almost 1,300 live viewers for the Samoa Joe Brock Lesnar main event for the Universal Championship. So if you guys want to go over there, if that interests you at all, I would greatly appreciate that, and I would love to have you join me as I drink some cold beverages. We take some live donations. We have a good time. We do Q&A. I interact with you guys through the 4 hours of the pay-per-view. Gonna be a good time, man. So please go and follow me, twitch.tv/JD from New York. It's spelt out. So make sure you guys go and do that for me. Much appreciated. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, make sure you guys are up to date via the Twitter. That's JD from NY206 on Twitter. And please hit that subscribe button down below with that bell. Most important that you guys hit that bell for all notifications so you guys are hopefully updated when I do go live with a new video on YouTube.com. If you guys missed Off the Script parts 1 and 2, those are live on the channel right now. Make sure you guys go and check that out. We did Battleground preview and predictions and a massive rant on SmackDown Creative, WWE Creative as a whole in part 1. Almost 2 hours of audio podcast there for you. If you missed it, it's live on the channel right now. Everything you need is linked in the annotation within this video. Part 2, we talked about the Shane McMahon helicopter crash. We talked about AJ Styles, and I did make a slight mistake. I did not listen to the Edge and Christian podcast where they had AJ Styles on talking about his desire for a dream match with Nakamura. It was, in fact, AJ Styles trying to convince Vince McMahon of the dream match to happen at WrestleMania, not SummerSlam. So that makes AJ Styles look even better and Vince McMahon even more like a fucking retard, because I know he's going to book it at SummerSlam, which I am totally against right now. So we talk about that. We got a big Ryback story in there where he's very sexist towards the WWE women. We got a story about the Mae Young Classic and the competitors in that tournament. WWE officials deem them to be not sexy enough. More sexism from WWE officials. We got a story on Ronda Rousey in there. We got a lot of stuff in there, man. Part 2 live on the channel right now. If you guys missed that, please go and check that out after you do this video right here today on Sunday morning. We're going to get right into the news, man. We're going to get right into the news here. I do want to start off with this. This is no way near a top story to start the show off, but it just kind of coincides with what I've been saying for months now, and it's very, very bizarre to me that she came out and actually stated this after I've been saying it for so long. Now, Charlotte, yes, Charlotte Flair, I am the women's champion, and I am going to discuss my dream matches in WWE. Queen, Shane, Daniel Bryan. Charlotte Flair shares her remaining goals in WWE and shares her dream opponents. Charlotte was recently a guest on the... I'm an asshole, I know. By the way, we'll discuss the story in a second. By the way, I'm deciding on 3 new designs for a t-shirt. What do you guys want? Because the first one I'm thinking about is Charlotte, and in a robot form. Charbot is what I'm calling it. Or do you want the version 2 of Get Off My TV? Remember with the 4 goons, you had Strowman, Big Show, Kane, and Ryback. Do you want a redone version of that shirt with all new people on it? I could do that. Or we could do the Titus Catering worldwide. With just Titus there, a fucking catering table, chef hat, you know, the works. Titus Catering. What do you guys want for a new t-shirt? What do you guys want for a new t-shirt, man? It'll go right up on Barbershop Window before SummerSlam. You guys can have a field day with that. Charlotte shares her remaining goals. She was a recent guest on the APP's Fan Theory podcast. She spoke on a wide variety of topics about her wrestling career. 2 of the key topics that came up during the podcast were her goals and dream matches that she wants to accomplish in the WWE. Charlotte already has an incredible resume that includes multiple championship wins. She has also been able to be in groundbreaking matches for the women of WWE. Hell in a Cell, Money in the Bank are just the latest examples. In regards to her goals, Charlotte says that she wants to main event WrestleMania one day. That is always at the top of the list of everybody, whether you're male or female. I do not see the women ever main eventing a WrestleMania, but it's a lofty goal nonetheless. She also wants to be the first ever female Triple Crown winner in WWE history. And this is what she says, and I quote, My goal is to be crowned the first ever Triple Crown winner. I have won the Divas Championship. I was the last ever Divas Champion. I won the Raw Women's Championship, and now I need to add the SmackDown Women's Championship to my resume. I also I was also the NXT Women's Champion. I'm sorry, I can't fucking read today. I was also the NXT Women's Champion, so right now, that is my first and foremost goal. Sooner than later, she will be the SmackDown Live Women's Champion, no question. That is just mere months away, as I do think she will defeat Naomi at SummerSlam for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. In regards to dream matches, funny that I've been lobbying for this to happen at WrestleMania, because I don't think there's a bigger match in WWE that the officials can really book for WrestleMania than this one. In regards to her dream matches, Asuka is at the top of Charlotte's list. A list that also includes Stephanie McMahon. Second, Asuka. I want to dethrone her. I think everyone on the main roster, I'm looking forward to being in a different role. My comfort level is being a heel, so I can now focus on being the best babyface ever. That is a challenge I'm looking at taking straight on. But one of my dream matches would be Stephanie McMahon. Queen versus Queen Stephanie McMahon. That's what she says here. Not in that tone, but that's what she says. She says Queen versus Queen. So I find it funny that I have been, all seriousness, all joking aside, I've been lobbying for Charlotte to win the Women's Championship on SmackDown Live. And there have been rumors that Asuka is going to be brought up to either Raw or SmackDown. I say preferably SmackDown is the best fit for Asuka. because you can kind of do, some type of dream match scenario with really, really good booking with Bayley versus Sasha. I think that should be WWE's main focus over there. You want to put Peyton Royce and Billie Kay on Monday Night Raw and give SmackDown Asuka. I think that's an even trade. I really do. Add some depth to Monday Night Raw. Get two quality women over there that could be put in fun little storylines there. Peyton Royce is getting better and better every time I see her. Asuka on SmackDown with Charlotte and Becky and Natalya, Naomi even. I think that's a nice fit for Asuka. And I think the biggest women's match that WWE can do out of both brands, out of all three brands, honestly, right now, is Charlotte versus Asuka. So if WWE's even hinting at that here, or Charlotte is even hinting at that happening here, I think that is the ultimate best thing. That reeks of WrestleMania match right there. I would not have Asuka lose the NXT Championship, Women's Championship, that is. I would have her actually forfeit the title. Pretty much come up with something or a scenario where she's conquered everybody, relinquish the title, have another tournament for that on NXT television, and then have Asuka promoted or demoted to SmackDown Live, and put her in a role on SmackDown where she remains undefeated. Nobody touches Asuka. Have Asuka beat Charlotte at WrestleMania. Have Asuka remain undefeated for, not forever, but for the foreseeable future. That's what I would do. I would not in any way, shape, or form have Asuka be defeated. They've gotten this far. It's almost 500 days. I would keep that going. You don't do this just because you have a woman there and, she's accumulated wins and days on this record for nothing. Obviously, they seen something in Asuka once they brought her in. We've gotten to this point. Why would you squander that? Why would you ruin that? I don't like that at all. I think she should remain undefeated. I don't think anybody right now is even close to beating Asuka. Look at what Nikki Cross did to Asuka in that last woman standing match on NXT a couple of weeks back. Do you think anybody's going to beat Asuka after Asuka took the beating of her life in that match from Nikki Cross and still came out on top? You think Ember Moon's going to beat Asuka at TakeOver? I wouldn't. I wouldn't beat Asuka at TakeOver, not at all. I would have Asuka remain undefeated, relinquish the title, move to SmackDown Live. Now, if WWE wants to beat Asuka, I don't think it should be Ember Moon. I think the winner of the Mae Young Classic, which would be announced in September, at the end of September, probably going to be Kairi Sane. I would have that match take place at TakeOver in Houston, Survivor Series weekend, and then I would have Kairi beat Asuka there in a fantastic match, and then I would have Asuka move up then. That's the only thing I would do if you are even contemplating beating Asuka. But my first thing on the list is not beating Asuka at all. If they want to beat Asuka, it should not be Ember Moon. It should not be Ember Moon. It should be Kairi Hojo, because that would be enough time, or Kairi Sane, because I know someone's going to correct me. It would be enough time from August for us to see her in the Mae Young Classic, in the finals in September, and then we go through October all the way to the end of November for Survivor Series weekend. That should be more than enough time to see what she's made of and decide on our own that, yeah, I think she could be go toe-to-toe with Asuka. That's just me. But let me know what you guys think. I found that to be very interesting that Charlotte named Asuka as one of her dream opponents in WWE, because I've been saying it for months now. If you guys have been watching me, you guys know I've been fantasy booking that for WrestleMania. If WWE does it, I'm pretty sure they're listening to Off the Script. I can only hope so, because I got a lot of ideas up here, man. Jim Cornette says, fuck Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega responds. I think Jim Cornette's a little fucking cuckoo. As you may or may not know, Jim Cornette is not the biggest fan of Kenny Omega. Cornette has taken issue with some of the things that Omega has done in the past. Keyword, past. Kenny Omega is over wrestling blow-up dolls, bro. Get over it. That's all he talks about. Wrestling a blow-up doll or a 9-year-old girl. This led to some fire on social media this past Thursday. Jim Cornette says that he heard Dahmer quit eating people before he got caught. Fuck Kenny Omega. If he wants to be respected as a wrestler, too fucking late. Now, Kenny Omega responded to this. I like you, Jim, but if you want to bury me, please don't tag me in it. We just started the G1, and I can't have this polluting my timeline. Thank you. Jim Cornette then responded to Kenny Omega. More of your idiot fans needed slapped down. You polluted my eyeballs with your blow-up doll match. By the way, how's the little girl you couldn't beat? So then Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks also responded, cool online character, Jim. You're making us all angry all over again. Good heel heat. You're killing it. You know, I enjoy listening to Jim Cornette. I think he's got a fantastic mind for the business, but it's a mind that is very, very old school. I understand that he doesn't like most of these new school guys. I understand guys like Jim Cornette feel like the new school guys are kind of exposing the business, you know, mocking the business, whatever the fucking reasons that they might come up with are. But Jim Cornette can't be this fucking ignorant to realize how great of a talent Kenny Omega is. Who gives a shit if he wrestled a blow-up doll or a 9-year-old girl? I don't know why he did it, nor do I fucking care. Even if I did see Kenny Omega wrestling a blow-up doll or a 9-year-old girl before he actually hit his stride in what he's doing now, who gives a shit? This is the Kenny Omega we got. This is the Kenny Omega we're going to get for the foreseeable future. Who gives a shit what the man did in his past? You didn't do anything that you fucking regretted in your past, Cornette? That's a very hypocritical fucking statement to be making. Calling somebody out on their fucking mistakes. Meanwhile, yeah, you're picture perfect, right? You're picture perfect in everything that you've done. Give me a break, dude. I respect Cornette. I love his voice. I love his passion. I love his mind. But the business has changed. And that's a lot of what is a problem now with guys like that and guys like fucking Vince Russo, bro. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're not wrestlers to me, bro. Sami Zayn looks like a fucking cab driver in Brooklyn, bro. You know, Kenny Omega doing the flips and dives, and Kevin Owens, he looks like a fucking refrigerator. The only exercise he gets is by opening up that refrigerator door and reaching for a fucking cold beer and a fucking drumstick. Bro, you know? This is the mentality of these fucking guys. They gotta stop it. They gotta stop it. Kenny Omega is the future of the business. Now, that might not mean anything coming from me, being that I'm only a fucking 6-month Kenny Omega fan. But I'm no fucking dummy. I know talent when I see it. It doesn't take me fucking watching Kenny Omega for 15 years to realize how fucking great he is. I watched one fucking match and he made me an instant fan. But these guys have to get it through their head that the wrestling business has changed. Same thing with the WWE officials, like we discussed on part 2. You know, they want the women to be more sexy. They didn't think the women in the Mae Young Classic were sexy enough. Get that fucking bullshit out of your mind, bro. It's polluting your fucking head. You don't need none of that shit. That's the reason why some of these fucking companies and WWE right now, certain aspects of WWE are fucking failing. Because you got people like that in positions that they don't belong in. Kenny Omega is fine. He made some fucking questionable mistakes. Questionable decisions in the past. Doesn't mean that Kenny Omega isn't one of the best wrestlers in the fucking world. Own up to it, Jim, and realize that Kenny Omega probably is the future of this business. So, put that to the side. Put your fucking animosity to the side. Don't let this guy's past decisions cloud what is a great fucking wrestler in 2017. He is the guy everybody wants. So, just put that away, man, and fucking cut the bullshit out, really. We don't need any more animosity in the world of professional wrestling. John Cena explains why he wanted to return as a WWE free agent. Finally, we should have got this explanation on fucking SmackDown Live, but apparently WWE didn't want to do that for us. So John Cena was interviewed by Complex in order to promote the new Tap Out body spray line, which I don't use, nor would I ever. I think it smells nasty. John Cena spoke on a wide variety of topics about both his wrestling and movie careers. One of the topics of interest for wrestling fans was when John Cena spoke about his free agent status in WWE. After returning for the first time to WWE since WrestleMania 33, Cena is now able to appear on both Raw and SmackDown Live as he pleases. Cena says that it was his decision to be a free agent, and he explained why, and I quote, "The reason that I wanted to be a free agent and the reason they kind of granted my request is because I don't know if I'll be available for SmackDown specific only or Raw specific only. And I also know that my days are numbered. I just turned 40 in April, and we have so many young and talented performers. I don't know how many years I have left. So in the time I have left, I'm going to do what I can and dedicate myself to this company. I just want to be able to do it the most time that I possibly can." Since returning, Cena has been appearing on SmackDown Live exclusively in terms of WWE television. We saw the first glimpse of free agent Cena on July 16th when he appeared as a surprise and defeated Bray Wyatt at the Lexington Live event. This was a Raw exclusive. pay-per-view, not pay-per-view, a Raw exclusive house show event. So Cena gave us the reason there. I mean, it does make sense. Cena's not going to say that on television, clearly. I mean, that would be a perfect answer for most of us on any given evening. But Cena's not going to come out and say that he just turned 40 and, that I only have so many years left. I want to dedicate myself to the company the most time that I possibly can. I don't know if I'll be available for SmackDown or Raw-specific only dates. He can't say that shit on television. I mean, I wish they would have actually been creative and write something for him that kind of toes that line, but, most of what he said here was not going to be able to be said on television. So John Cena, the reason why he's a free agent and the reason why he was granted a free agent status from WWE officials is because they really don't know how many days he has left. They don't know when he's going to be able to be available. And you know what? I with this explanation, I really don't mind it. I really don't mind it. The only thing I do mind is that WWE was so lax on giving him this decision. It kind of fucks up the brand split. It really doesn't make the brand split genuine anymore. I don't want people from SmackDown coming over to Raw. I don't want people from Raw coming over to SmackDown. You need to keep these things separated. That was the whole fucking point of the brand split. And at this stage of the game, the way the WWE rosters are right now, with the influx of talent coming up from NXT, a brand split pretty much is needed right now. There would be absolutely no way none of these guys would be able to survive, or WWE Creative would even be coming close to good if we had all these guys on one fucking show. The brand splits really are necessary. The only thing that WWE needs to work on is the amount of fucking pay-per-view events. And the pay-per-view events, the B pay-per-views, the brand exclusive pay-per-views kind of overlapping with a major dual-branded pay-per-view. Like we have Raw that just got done with Great Balls of Fire. They have 6 weeks to build towards SummerSlam. Now, in the midst of this SummerSlam build, or what should be SummerSlam build, SmackDown's building towards Battleground, which is a bullshit pay-per-view. Meanwhile, they should be building towards SmackDown. Maybe I would be a little bit easier on the Nakamura-AJ Styles match if we weren't getting AJ Styles, teasing a match with Kevin Owens, a match with John Cena, but then you want to give me Shinsuke Nakamura in 3 weeks. Come on, man. It's not really logical to me. It's not really creative booking at its best. So SmackDown's booking towards Battleground. Meanwhile, they should be booking towards SummerSlam. And when they finish Battleground, they're only going to have 3 weeks to build towards SummerSlam. So you got to rush a SummerSlam card for your brand to present at SummerSlam. That's the only thing I think WWE needs to fix is the pay-per-view calendar. They gotta put these pay-per-views in such a way that it doesn't overlap a major pay-per-view. Or add another major pay-per-view in the calendar and kind of space them out. Kind of space out these brand exclusive pay-per-views, man. It's just very sloppy, and that's the only part of the brand split I wish WWE would work on. But, having John Cena as a free agent, he's John Cena. He's going to be able to do whatever the fuck he wants because he's served so many years in WWE as their top guy. I just don't like it for the simple reason that it kind of goes away from what the original plan was for the brand split. But it's John Cena, so people are going to turn the other cheek when it comes to John Cena in himself. So, he's not going to be able to say that on television. It is what it is, and we're going to have to live with it, man. Maybe we get some good matches out of it. WWE's booking or trying to at least tease a Roman Reigns John Cena match. That's going to happen before John Cena hangs it up. So, that's their end goal with that. John Cena's a free agent, simple for that reason. Chris Jericho's return date to the WWE. Everybody's asking when Chris Jericho's coming back. I wish he would stay away for a little bit longer, man. I don't think the WWE right now needs Chris Jericho. And he just went away a couple of months ago. If he comes back, it's not going to be all that special. Let it marinate with the fans a little bit. But as many fans know, Chris Jericho is taking some time off from WWE in order to focus on the band Fozzy. Their new song Judas has been doing well so far with over 6 million views as of this report. Jericho did return for some WWE live events in Japan a few weeks ago, but that didn't equal a return to WWE television. So when will Chris Jericho return to WWE TV? This is the latest on his status. Now, Jericho's return date is unknown at this time. It is certainly looking like it is going to be unknown for a long time. A recent photo of Fozzy's European tour schedule shows that the band will be busy until the middle of November. Now, they have a tour starting in September in Minnesota on September 16th, and that runs all the way through November 18th. So the band also might even add more shows over the next few months, which would keep him out for the rest of 2017 and maybe into 2018. Unfortunately, it looks like WWE fans shouldn't get their hopes up for a Jericho return anytime soon or a Jericho-Owens continuation of their feud. Because if you guys remember, Kevin Owens was the one who put Jericho out on television and wrote him off storyline. Maybe we can get a 2018 appearance from Chris Jericho, possibly. You know, that's always a great way to reintroduce a new talent or a returning talent to the WWE. We're just going to have to wait and see. It really is a good testament to Jericho and the fans since they want him back already. Being that a lot of people with this whole list gimmick thought that this was one of the best Jericho runs in his career. I say hold him off for the rest of the year. I think WWE has so much talent as it is right now to focus on. We don't need to add another part-timer. I still consider Jericho a part-timer. And then we have another influx of NXT talent getting ready to be brought up to the main roster. Jericho right now is terribly, terribly, terribly not needed. He's not needed. So let him do his Fozzy thing. Write some good fucking tunes so that I can actually say, you know what, Fozzy made a comeback album because their last albums were fucking terrible. But I do think we see Jericho in 2018. I think we do see Jericho at WrestleMania for sure. But Jericho not coming back at all in 2018. So give it up, goons. Give it up. We got a story here on Alberto El Moron. Alberto El Patron reportedly no longer suspect in domestic violence investigation. Oh my God. Are you fucking kidding me? He is cleared of the investigation. This week has been full of news about Alberto El Patron and Paige. But in all honesty, that's not an uncommon thing. There was a recent incident that really worried some fans and resulted in Alberto's suspension from Global Force Wrestling. Paige and Alberto allegedly got in a pretty heated argument in an Orlando airport after audio of the encounter leaked online. A lot of people were concerned for the couple. But now it looks like things might be clearing up for Alberto, at least because Pro Wrestling Sheet reports that he has been cleared of all charges in this investigation. Orlando Police Department reportedly disclosed that Alberto is no longer a suspect in the case now that Paige is the primary suspect. You can hear Paige saying in the audio from the incident that she should be the one charged, and apparently that's exactly what is happening. While no charges have been filed on the anti-diva at this time, her part of the case is still open. Close attention does need to be paid to Paige's part in this investigation because it could result in her termination from WWE. But at this time, Alberto appears as though he is free and clear from this investigation. So, go figure. Go figure. The man that everybody fucking hates, the man that everybody has pretty much tried to avoid now, all independent bookings, Paige's family, the WAW promotion that Paige's family runs, they stripped him of their world championship, right? Now he's cleared of this investigation. He looks like the good guy in all this. Meanwhile, Paige, being that she is associated with this fucking clown, now his career is on the road to reconciliation. He's got to, hopefully this fucking idiot learned his lesson here. I doubt it. He starts to clear up all this shit. He starts to fucking, control himself, control his anger, control his drinking, concentrates on his career, which is most important right now, and running your fucking Mexican restaurant down in Texas. It's funny that he got cleared of all this shit now, and he could be on the road to recovery. Meanwhile, Paige, being that she is associated with this fucking clown, and he's been deliberately trying to ruin her career by just doing these outlandish things, these outlandish fucking outbursts, these stunts. She's gonna have her career ruined because of him, and now he's cleared. She's the primary suspect here, just by fucking being in this situation with him. It's his fault, but it's also her fault as well. She should be fucking smart enough to realize that this guy's not good for her. Being in and around this guy, mixed in with this guy, is not doing her any good. Being mixed in with this guy has resulted in this circumstance now for Paige. And she's looking at possibly being terminated from WWE. You gotta get away from this guy. Look at what the possible fucking circumstances are gonna be. You're gonna be fired from the WWE. Then what? Who's gonna want you then? Who's gonna fucking want you to come wrestle for them? They're gonna realize that you're bad news. That you're nothing but a troublemaker. You're immature. You're not serious. All you want to do is fucking party and be a rebel. Nobody wants that shit. Meanwhile, Paige's priority should have been her career all this time. Now he's fucking cleared, and now she's got a possibility of being arrested and fired from the biggest wrestling promotion on the fucking planet. You know? He's a fucking asshole. We understand that. We've seen his attitude in Periscope videos, and we've seen him just fucking drunken rant on Triple H and the Usos and everybody in the WWE, salty that he didn't get what he wanted in the WWE. And now he's got to play second fiddle to WWE and Global Force Wrestling, right? Global Force Wrestling is lucky that he got acquitted of all these charges. Now they can go on and, continue storylines with him as the world champion. I still wouldn't make him the face of the company. I'd still punish him. I'd fine him. He's suspended right now. But what suspension is there? They don't fucking tour. They don't do house shows or minimal house shows, right? They already recorded 6 weeks of TV. It's not like he's suspended. He's still on fucking television. They suspended him for what? Yeah, they suspended him. Are they going to fine him? They're going to dock him pay? They're going to really fucking hit him where it hurts? Hit him in the fucking pockets for being a fucking asshole and a disgrace to the company. I'm more concerned about Paige being mixed in with this fucking goon. Now she's got a possibility of being arrested and terminated from the WWE. So stupid, man. So now I will keep you guys updated on what happens to Paige. Alberto is no longer an issue in this subject, in this topic. Now Paige is the one possibly with a pending arrest and a termination from WWE. You know it's coming. You know it's coming. And at that point, who really is to blame? Who really is to blame? She should have realized this a long time ago. The latest on a potential Cyborg versus Becky Lynch match at SummerSlam. More news on this is picking up steam. Speaking of SummerSlam, I just mentioned before I might have a new t-shirt coming out before SummerSlam, but I already have 9 different designs in the Barbershop Window online shop already for you guys to choose from if you guys want one of them for SummerSlam. I got the Roman Reigns Get Off My TV t-shirt. He's going to be in the main event of SummerSlam. Get your t-shirt today. JD is Negan. I got the Get Off My TV hit list. I got the Big Show Get Off My TV. He's going to be at SummerSlam fighting Big Cass. That's the rumored match right now. Dana Brooke, Eva Marie, Goon City. And I got the original gray Off the Script logo shirt, the first ever shirt that was ever available on Barbershop Window. You guys want your t-shirts? Go get it right now and get ready for SummerSlam, man. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript and use the coupon code JD17 for 20% off, man. There's no better deal. It's like Christmas in July, motherfucker. Get your t-shirts today and get ready for SummerSlam, because when I meet and greet you on that Sunday for SummerSlam in Brooklyn for my meet and greet, because you know it's happening, I want to see as many Get Off My TV shirts available, man. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Coupon code at checkout, JD17. Becky Lynch, Cris Cyborg, back and forth on Twitter seems to be leading to something that has been the blessing of WWE. Cyborg has been pushing for a match with Lynch at SummerSlam. I don't know if this match is even possible at this point, because I know Cyborg probably has a match coming up at the end of August, I do believe, at UFC 214. I don't know if the match will happen, but sources close to Cyborg's camp have indicated that they have come to an agreement with WWE. Now, there were people that reached out to WWE over the weekend, and there was no response from either side, which tends to mean that something is brewing from both sides, both UFC and the WWE. Cyborg and WWE have talked in the past, and she is currently under contract with UFC, so that is a hurdle that she would jump through. However, as noted in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, UFC does owe WWE because Brock Lesnar was allowed to fight last year while under WWE contract. Cyborg has had a rocky relationship with UFC, but she recently made up with UFC head honcho Dana White. She will fight Tanya Evinger for the vacant Women's Featherweight Championship on 7/29 at UFC 214. I'm sorry, this month. So that would make her readily available for SummerSlam if WWE wants her. I don't know if this will happen, but there is a real deal in place, according to sources, for a match with Lynch. Then her UFC 214 post-fight interview, if she wins, could be the right place to officially start the angle with Lynch by formally announcing her plans to try her hand at pro wrestling and laying down the SummerSlam challenge to Becky Lynch. Man, that's got me more interested than anything else. But then again, the only thing that worries me is that SummerSlam's card is going to be so loaded. You're not going to be able to fit everybody on there. You're already going to have 2 women's matches. You're going to have Charlotte versus Naomi, rumored for the Women's Championship on SmackDown. You're going to have Sasha versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. They're going to add a 3rd women's match, Cyborg potentially versus Becky Lynch. Has 3 women's matches on a SummerSlam card that is not going to feature everybody. There are going to be several people left off the card. So WWE has to be very careful about how they book SummerSlam. If this is what they want, then the appropriate changes need to be made. Because 3 women's matches on a huge pay-per-view like that might be too much. Unless SummerSlam's going to be fucking 6 hours long, which I hope it's not. Because I hate that. It should be 4 hours tops. I can do 4. Not WrestleMania like 7. Please. I wanted to fucking hang myself after WrestleMania. I was so parched. I was so fucking drained from watching 7 hours of wrestling. My God. Can you imagine if SummerSlam is 7 hours long? I don't want it. So WWE has to be very careful here, but the match does intrigue me because I have seen Cyborg fight. Becky Lynch being in that type of situation is very interesting to say the least. But you know WWE would be all over this because Vince McMahon loves the money and Vince McMahon loves that publicity. ESPN, mainstream news outlets, you know Vince McMahon's going to be all over that. So if this happens, it's going to be a big deal for WWE. Rey Mysterio. His name has been in the news a lot. WWE return possible. But now people are saying that it's doubtful. Global Force Wrestling may have ramped up its plans to sign the future WWE Hall of Famer. This week's WWE rumor mill was abuzz with speculation that Rey Mysterio may be up for a WWE return or a possible first tour of duty with Global Force Wrestling, the company formerly known as TNA. And it looks like talks for Mysterio leaving Lucha Underground for either one of these companies has kept heating up. And Global Force Wrestling on their end, as seen in new Instagram photos from one of the company's top executives, that he could be on his way to Global Force Wrestling. According to a report from Wrestling Inc., Global Force Wrestling executive consultant Karen Jarrett, the wife of Chief Creative Officer Jeff Jarrett, an on-air personality for the company as well, has been keeping the Mysterio rumors firing up in recent days. But these rumors might not bode well for the chances of a Rey Mysterio WWE return, as Karen took to Instagram on this past Tuesday, to post a photo of herself with an unmasked Rey Mysterio. A look at the photo of Karen Jarrett and Rey doesn't include any clues or information as to when it was taken. However, it does appear to be a recent photo, and the initial reactions to the image suggest that GFW's fans do want Mysterio, a former WWE champion, to make his first appearance for the rival promotion. One commenter suggested that it would be in the best interest of Global Force Wrestling to sign the 42-year-old Mysterio, as that would give the company someone who could work as an in-ring competitor and backstage agent while providing guidance to younger talents as a long-time veteran of the industry. Another Instagram commenter suggested that Mysterio would be a good fit for GFW's X Division, a mainstay of the company since its time in TNA. The X Division doesn't have any specific weight limits like WWE's Cruiserweight division, which I will talk about in a second, but it is booked as a division that specializes in high-flying, fast-paced wrestling. Talks of Rey Mysterio's WWE return had heated up on Monday, as Sports Illustrated Justin Barrasso wrote that both WWE and Global Force Wrestling are chasing after the Lucha Underground standout as they search for a recognizable name to appeal to Latino audiences. Several other sources added that wrestlers such as Kalisto, Sin Cara, and Alberto El Patron, known as Del Rio to WWE smart marks, have failed to pan out in such a role, while El Patron, who now reigns as Global Force Wrestling's world champion, is currently serving a suspension due to domestic abuse allegations, which we already discussed that he is cleared of, and his partner, WWE's women's wrestler, Paige. Regardless of where he ends up, Mysterio's Lucha Underground contract is due in September, with a 90-day non-compete clause afterwards. This means that he has at least 2 more months to decide whether he stays with the company, returns to WWE, or gives Global Force Wrestling a try. A lot of interesting information in this one news article. Number one, I heard rumors of Lucha Underground being finished. I heard that Lucha Underground does not have any financial backing for a 4th season, that it is very close to closing its doors, and we will never see Lucha Underground again. That's what I read. And that's coming from Wrestling News World and Richard Gray. So there's a possibility of that. There's also a possibility that they do find financial backing and all goes as planned. But who the fuck are they going to have wrestling for them if Contracts are going to be up. They're going to be losing guys like Mysterio. They already fucked over Taya, right? Or I think AAA fucked over Taya, Mundo's wife and fiance. Prince Puma, Ricochet, he got fucked over. He had some choice words for Lucha Underground at the G1 US special. So, I don't know what's going on with Lucha Underground, but Mysterio is clearly their biggest star. Now, as far as his returning to the WWE is concerned, or him returning to the WWE is concerned, this is where I stand on this, and I made a brief mention of this, I believe, a couple of days ago. If you bring in Rey Mysterio, what are you going to do with Rey Mysterio? Because I know Global Force Wrestling, I know what they want to do. I know what they want to do right out of the gate. You know when Rey Mysterio comes in, he's going to be challenging Alberto Del Rio, or Alberto El Moron, El Patron, whatever the fuck you want to call him. They're going to put Mysterio versus El Patron in a top-profile feud for the world title. That's their vision right now. I tell you that right out of the gate. There's no doubt in my mind that's where they're going. But what does WWE want to do with Rey Mysterio when he comes in? Do they want to bring in Rey Mysterio to keep him away from a Lucha Underground? Do they want to bring in Rey Mysterio to keep him away from a Global Force Wrestling? Do they want to bring in a Rey Mysterio to keep him away from any other promotion that might be interested in him, and that's it, and not have any plans for Rey Mysterio? Do they want to bring in Rey Mysterio and foolishly put him in the Cruiserweight division? Now, I would put Rey Mysterio in the Cruiserweight division. I would have him come on in and challenge a Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship if there wasn't 205 Live and if there was no weight limit for the Cruiserweights. Simple as that. Because that would be a dream match in itself. Neville Mysterio Cruiserweight Championship. That would have been perfect for WWE. But the fact that there is a weight limit, the fact that there is a 205 Live, I don't want WWE to cast Rey Mysterio off to 205 Live and say, all right, that's your show. We can't feature you anywhere else. 205 Live, nobody watches it. Nobody gives a shit about 205 Live. Bringing in a Rey Mysterio is not going to make me watch a 205 Live at all. And the fact that Rey Mysterio is 175 pounds, that would make him a cruiserweight. You're going to bring in Rey Mysterio and you're going to put him on Raw or SmackDown and have him compete with the likes of Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and AJ Styles and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and all these other fucking guys that I'm sure you would love to see Rey Mysterio go one-on-one with. But then it kind of goes against what WWE's trying to do, right? If he's 175 pounds and you put him against all these other guys, why can't we see a Neville do that? Why can't we see Neville do that? Why couldn't we see an Austin Aries who you let go do that? WWE let Austin Aries go because of their own stupidity. They wanted to pigeonhole Austin Aries. And they pigeonholed Austin Aries because of their lack of direction and creative with the Cruiserweight division. There should be no weight limit. There should be no 205 Live. The Cruiserweight should have a vital part of Monday Night Raw. 2 segment stops every Monday. That's the way it should have been. If you want Neville in the Cruiserweight division, you could have him in the Cruiserweight division. But who's to say we couldn't see Neville versus Seth Rollins on a random edition of Monday Night Raw? The Cruiserweight Champion versus Seth Rollins. Or Cruiserweight Champion Neville versus Finn Balor. Why wouldn't we want to see that? Why would you handcuff your own talent? Why would you handcuff your own creative doing that? So if you bring in Rey Mysterio and you put him against those guys on Monday Night Raw and he completely bypasses the 205 Live division, right? That's kind of a hypocritical thing to do, don't you think? WWE fucked this all up. WWE fucked this all up. There's a way to correct it. But WWE's not going to take the proper steps to do that. Get rid of the fucking weight limit. Get rid of the fucking 205 Live program. It's garbage. Nobody wants to see it. Nobody cares about it. These guys should be placed on Raw. No, they wanted to tout that, yeah, the Cruiserweights are coming to Raw. We envision high-flying, adrenaline-filled matches, just like the Cruiserweight Classic. And these guys are handcuffed, and they're given 2 minutes to get their shit in. Noam Dar and Cedric Alexander had a 60-second match just a couple of weeks ago. That's what you envision for the Cruiserweights? That's your creative direction for the Cruiserweights? What's going to happen when Rey Mysterio comes in? You're going to give Rey Mysterio 2-minute matches on Monday Night Raw as a part of 205 Live? There's no wonder that Rey Mysterio, as of today, turned down a WWE contract. That's what I heard. I heard Rey Mysterio turned down a WWE contract. Because Global Force Wrestling probably setting him up to be world champion, probably setting him up to be number one competitor or number one contender for Alberto Del Rio. They're going to make him the face of the company, right? They're going to build to this big program, that's going to get the Latino community watching that because they already got a huge influence with LAX and Conan and Homicide and Santana and Ortiz over there. They got Patron there. So they want to add to that with Rey Mysterio. That's what their direction is. I'm sure that's more attractive to Rey Mysterio than coming in and WWE and whatever plans they had for him. They probably had no fucking plans for him. Where does Rey Mysterio fit in with anything on current WWE television? He doesn't. You're not just going to sign a Rey Mysterio and plop him in somewhere, because there's already things in motion. Baron Corbin's got Money in the Bank briefcase. You got Jinder Mahal, the WWE champion right now. John Cena's back. AJ Styles is probably going to be the WWE champion going into WrestleMania next year, which should be the case. Nakamura is there. You're building him up. You already got guys on SmackDown that you're not even using. And I mentioned this already this weekend. You're going to take a Rey Mysterio, and just like the people down at NXT, you're going to promote these guys and put them on Raw and SmackDown. It's going to bump everybody else that you're not using down even further. You're bringing a Rey Mysterio as a 42-year-old veteran. You put him on SmackDown Live. That means less TV time for everybody else. That means Ty Dillinger definitely not getting television time. Luke Harper definitely not getting television time. Rusev barely getting any television time. They don't know. WWE wants to sign Mysterio for the simple reason of keeping him away from going anywhere else. They want to sign these guys and handcuff them and say, fuck you, to every other promotion there, and they don't have any plans for him. Mysterio wants to come on in and say, you know what, you guys got a directive for me? That's great. Let's talk. Let's talk some money. Also, the other thing, WWE will probably foolishly and selfishly want Rey Mysterio to work a full-time schedule. His 42-year-old body, his knees, which have been a problem in the past, are not going to, take kindly to WWE's road schedule. They'll probably ask Rey Mysterio to work 300 fucking days a year. No. You give him the Nikki Bella treatment. SmackDown Live or Raw only. No house shows, no road shows. Just live television and pay-per-views and big storylines. That's it. Time off in between. You don't take a 42-year-old Rey Mysterio and expect him to go 300 fucking days on the road. Give me a break. That's WWE's fucking problem. They want to fucking burn you out. They want to fucking kill you. And then you're waiting there and you're waiting for fucking some storyline to develop or fucking some big plans to happen. And they're just using your body to fucking, make money for the machine with nothing behind it. The schedule for Global Force Wrestling probably a lot more appealing to Rey Mysterio at his age. Television tapings for 1 week and boom, you're done for the next 2 months. That's it. So Rey Mysterio coming back to the WWE, I heard that he turned down a contract today. And it's Saturday afternoon. You guys are seeing this on Sunday. I heard he turned it down. Conan, on his podcast, said that yes, there is definitive talks with WWE. Obviously, there is interest from both sides. But nothing is confirmed at this point. Nothing has been talked about besides the interest. That's it. I think he's going to Global Force Wrestling. I don't think he's coming to the WWE. And if he does come to the WWE, it's going to be a real eye-opener about how the 205 live show and the division itself is just a complete fucking disgrace and a failure. You're going to bring in Rey Mysterio and put him on Monday Night Raw to go against these guys, and Neville is handcuffed and he can't do that. Hypocritical. WWE needs a real rebranding of the cruiserweights, and fast. Because coming up, this September is the 1-year anniversary of the cruiserweights. What have we seen from the cruiserweights in 1 year? Nothing. The only thing that I remember is the Cruiserweight Classic. I keep referencing the Cruiserweight Classic. We had some good matches with Neville. We had some good matches with Neville against Jack Gallagher. The Austin Aries matches were okay. But nothing from the cruiserweights stands out at all. We always go back and reference the Cruiserweight Classic and what the cruiserweights should have been to the WWE. There should have been no fucking weight limit. There should have been no weight limit at all. That's where they fucked up. Then they want to give them their own show. That's where you fucked up. You already put them on Monday Night Raw. That's where they should have been. They should have been another part of Monday Night Raw and helping that show get better. Having the cruiserweights come in and spawn off their own show was not the fucking plan. They were coming to Raw. They were going to be Raw's difference maker. And that's not what they are. They settle into the same fucking formulaic garbage like everything else on that show. And they're not special at all. They've taken the place of the divas, if you ask me. Because when the cruiserweights are on, I either change the fucking channel or I do something else. Nobody gives a shit. Clear-cut rebranding and a restart is needed. If not, it's done. Failure. Moving on here, we have WWE officials reportedly warned of more nude photo leaks on the way. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. For everyone in WWE that thought that the nude photo leaks have ended, there is apparently more bad news coming. Sean Ross Sapp, who does an excellent job over at Fightful.com, is reporting that more WWE superstar leaks are likely to come out. Sapp reports that WWE was informed of the situation over this past weekend. Just last month, WWE held a meeting with their talent at Raw and SmackDown Live to address cybersecurity and to give advice on how to prevent future leaks from occurring. An expert from a cybersecurity firm was brought in to talk about the different methods that hackers use to get into iCloud accounts using USB drives being given as a gift and phishing emails that trick people into clicking on the links that look like they came from Apple and thus tricking people into giving up their username and passwords. Over the past year or so, several superstars, past and present, have been victims of photo leaks. There are some that have not commented publicly, so we won't list them here in this report. Among people that have been issued statements include Seth Rollins, Paige, Xavier Woods, and Charlotte Flair, all who have been exposed in recent nude leaks on the internet. I'm sure everybody and all you fucking basement-dwelling goons are fucking weighted with fucking saliva and fucking shit dripping from your mouth, thirsty as fuck, waiting for those Alexa and Sasha Banks nudes and leaks, right? I guarantee you. You know, this is a sad situation that people still don't learn. Don't put shit in your phone that shouldn't be there, okay? If you're having fucking sexual relations with your fucking girlfriend at night, don't pick up your phone and start filming her while she's going down on you. Give me a break, bro. You know, seriously. You can have fun on the road. Don't publicize it. Don't film it. Don't put it on a fucking device that could easily be stolen or taken from your bag. Or if you have a fucking asshole friend who wants to go into your phone and fucking, blackmail you somehow or take the photos and sneak it around and fucking show people that it shouldn't be shown to. There's a bunch of different ways. Don't put anything on your phone or your computers that is not business related. Seriously. Keep that to yourself. There's no reason for that shit to be photographed or filmed. It's ridiculous. These people don't learn. WWE paid all this money for cybersecurity people to come in, and still they're fucking not listening to the company's objectives here with this major topic that gives WWE bad PR, gets WWE out there in a negative light, right? It gets these performers out there in a negative light. Then they want to play the victim, right? When they take the wrong steps and shit happens. Don't do it, don't do anything. Be careful with what you put on your phone. You know, easily avoidable. Seth Rollins, Paige, Xavier Woods, Charlotte, they've all been victim of all this shit. You know, it's sad to see. You don't want to see anybody go through that embarrassment. I know I wouldn't do that to anybody. I don't want that done to me. I wouldn't want that done to me. So be careful about what you put in your phone. Why are we still talking about this? It's common logic, common sense. Don't put anything in your phone that should not be there. Huge update on what Impact Wrestling wanted from Matt Hardy for the Broken Matt gimmick. This is actually very pathetic on Global Force Wrestling's part. But I'll tell you what I want from each and every one of you. I want you guys to go to audibletrial.com/offthescript. Because Justin Roberts' name is being thrown out there everywhere this week. Solid Monster just had a great interview with Justin Roberts. Justin LaBar has recently had a great interview with Justin Roberts. And Justin Roberts' autobiography that describes how political and bullshit WWE is from his eyes and ears, being that he was there for over 10 years. He describes how it is to be a WWE employee being on the road and having to deal with Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn. Justin Roberts, he didn't like, Wood. It's all in there. If you guys want to listen to it, you can get it for free. audibletrial.com/offthescript. If you guys got an Android or iPhone device, all you got to do is download the app. You fill in the appropriate information using our unique link, audibletrial.com/offthescript, and you guys get access to 1 free audiobook and 30 days free of Audible's service, man. Over 180,000 books to choose from. If you guys don't want any wrestling-related books, you got a ton of options to choose from, and it's a great way to support this podcast. audibletrial.com/offthescript. New listeners only, by the way. Huge update on what Global Force Wrestling wanted from Matt Hardy for the broken Matt gimmick. There's a story in Sports Illustrated with details on talks that have been ongoing between the Hardys and Anthem over the broken trademarks. The story noted that they are not actually fighting over the trademark since it's not trademarked by either side, but they're fighting over its ownership. Another new detail revealed in the story about Impact Wrestling and their offer to Matt and Jeff. The story noted that Impact had tried to sign Jeff to a lucrative deal, but only offered Matt a fraction of what he was making. Matt, according to the story, was promised a spot on the creative team, but the offer was later rescinded by Jeff Jarrett. As most of you know by now, things got ugly on social media after the brothers left the company, but they were able to come to terms on a settlement in recent weeks, with the Hardys agreeing to pay $10,000 to $15,000 for the rights to the broken trademarks. Rebby Hardy noted on Twitter that the deal would have been included with a non-disparagement clause, an agreement that included a $1,000 fine for the first offense and $5,000 for subsequent offenses. The Hardys also agreed to publicly issue a statement ending things on a good note. However, the deal breaker was Anthem was reportedly asking for 50% of all Hardy revenue, which included Jeff's art and music. Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus Christ! Let it go already! Seriously! Do I have to play the theme song from fucking Frozen? Let it go, let it go. Are you fucking kidding me? What does Jeff Hardy's art and music have to do with anything? Fucking greedy motherfuckers over there, bro. If this ends up going to court, then things could get really ugly. The Sports Illustrated story noted that the footage filmed at the Hardy compound was not paid by TNA. Rebby says that no child labor laws were signed for her son Maxwell and her father, Senor Benjamin. He was not paid for any of his work. The story states that an unfavorable ruling could be bad for Impact, with the possibility of them losing their space at Universal Studios. Will you just let this fucking shit go already? Will you let them fucking use the gimmick? Take the fucking money that they offered you and agreed to pay you and just shut your fucking mouths, please. You're not going to use the gimmick for anything. Nobody buys your fucking merchandise anyway. Nobody buys your DVDs. What are you gonna? You're gonna market what? You're gonna market what? You're gonna try and sell the fucking the final deletion? You're gonna try and sell that shit on DVD when everybody has access to YouTube? It's all over fucking YouTube. Who gives a shit? Seriously, end this shit and fucking. You know, we want justice as wrestling fans. We want to see the broken gimmick in WWE. We want to see these guys live out their careers with the gimmick that they have made popular, that they created. Give me a break. This shit has to end. Fucking bullshit from Global Force Wrestling. It's just a joke now. Goes to show you the fucking mentality of these fucking people, the greediness of these fucking people. Why anybody would want to work for these motherfuckers. Horrible, horrible fucking people, man. Feel bad for the fucking Hardy brothers. I hope they fucking take them to court. Really fucking stick it to them. Because Rebby's been fucking saying that I got shit that is not released to the public that could fucking smear Anthem Sports and Jeff Jarrett and fucking TNA. I hope so. Because they deserve it after all this shit. Give me a break. Impact Wrestling wants Jeff's art and music. Out of your fucking mind. Do 50% of all their revenue. Who the fuck do they think they are? Complete fucking nonsense. We're going to end part 3, and there will be a part 4, motherfucker. There will be a part 4, by the way. I have so much news, there will be a part 4 of Off the Script on Monday. Massive heel turn coming for Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Ooh, what is going on here? After the implosion of the Shield, Dean Ambrose sought revenge against Seth Rollins for his betrayal. Over 3 years later, the Lunatic Fringe still hasn't forgotten or forgiven the Kingslayer for his actions. But the two men have found themselves seeking The Miz in the Intercontinental Championship on Raw. There's a lot of speculation regarding where WWE officials are headed with the new Ambrose and Rollins storyline, being that Ambrose has now been removed from the Bray Wyatt situation. Bray Wyatt's now teasing a match with Finn Balor, being that Balor and Elias Sampson are having their final match, I believe, on Monday Night Raw in a no DQ match. Wyatt presented himself after Balor got nailed over the head with that guitar on Monday Night Raw. So we see Ambrose shifting his feud to The Miz to include Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is now getting involved and moving away from Bray Wyatt. Next week on Raw, Ambrose and Rollins will team together in a 2-on-3 handicap match against The Miz, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel. It will be the first time both men are on the same team in quite some time. The fans are curious why WWE officials have brought Ambrose and Rollins back together on Raw, but it seems very likely that the powers that be have a specific plan in mind for the two WWE superstars to reunite for a time. Despite all the hints and rumors, WWE officials are not planning for the Shield to reunite anytime soon on WWE television. However, Ambrose and Rollins are working out their tension and could have a run as a tag team on Raw for a while. Raw's tag team division could use another strong babyface team, but the powers that be would eventually use their alliance to rekindle their rivalry once again with a different kind of heel turn. There is some speculation that this storyline will lead to a massive heel turn for Dean Ambrose. He has been a babyface since the Shield was disbanded, but the WWE Universe has anxiously been awaiting for Ambrose to turn heel because he has a ton of potential to succeed as one. There is a general feeling that his run as a babyface has become stale, but the turn could provide Ambrose the boost he needs to reach the next level. Ambrose vs. Rollins would be a fresh rivalry again if the former Dean Ambrose turned heel. Seth Rollins has done a lot of work as a babyface since the feud with Triple H began. However, the WWE Universe would be excited to see the Lunatic Fringe betray Rollins after the fans believed the two had buried the hatchet. It would be challenging to turn Ambrose heel, but given Dean Ambrose, this would give him a new life after performing nearly 4 years as a babyface. This is interesting, and WWE could make this one of the most must-see things in the company if done right. Now, I'm going to play it out for you right now before we end this podcast and we get into the Patreon shoutouts. I want to give my Patreons their own segment. I want to give you guys a shout out, and I want to give you guys a thank you for your hard work and dedication and support for the past week. Thank you guys so very much. But this is what I would do. It looks like we might be getting a tag team title change. I would do it at Monday Night Raw before SummerSlam. I would build up the Revival to take the titles off of Sheamus and Cesaro. I would have the Revival be built up as a dominating team, take the titles off Sheamus and Cesaro, and I would have the Revival as tag team champions. I would have the Hardys once again challenge the Revival for the tag team championships at SummerSlam in a losing effort. Hopefully by then, the broken Gimmick would be in the Hardys' possession, and we can finally get Matt Hardy broken, and Jeff Hardy can go on his way to being a singles guy, the Enigma Jeff Hardy in a singles run with WWE. That would end that. But you would need another babyface tag team to take the place of the Hardys, being that the Hardys would be disbanded. In come Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Now, WWE, I don't know where they're going with these guys at SummerSlam. I don't know where the Miz Taraj is going to fit in. I don't know where Rollins or Ambrose fit in. This is what I would do. I would have the Intercontinental Championship be defended in a triple threat match at SummerSlam. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and The Miz. Okay? Ambrose and Rollins, they could have their friendship, be put on hold for now. They could be on the same page, but, that competitive nature is always going to come out first and foremost, especially if there's a title on the line. Dean Ambrose can pretty much develop a frustration over the next coming weeks that he couldn't beat The Miz. And now Seth Rollins has automatically included himself in this business that he has with The Miz and wins the Intercontinental Championship. I've always been one to say that Seth Rollins, or babyface in general, not just Seth Rollins. I was mentioning Finn Balor, but Seth Rollins could easily be plugged in there as well as a nice substitute for Finn Balor. My original plans were Finn Balor versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship because I want to see the IC title on a babyface. It's a babyface title. It's a working man's championship. I want it to be on a babyface. I want the title to be defended. I want it to be the workhorse championship it once was. Seth Rollins could easily be that. Seth Rollins could easily take the title from Dean Ambrose, building frustration. Dean Ambrose puts it to the side. They become a unit once again. They challenge the Revival for the tag team championships, right? And after a few months, They come close to winning the titles. They get fucked over. The Revival, you do what the Revival does best. They're the top guys. They fucking sneak and cheat out a victory, right? And we get the final match between these two. We got Ambrose and Rollins. Ambrose, on the verge of becoming a heel. We got Seth Rollins, the Intercontinental Champion. How would we do this again? You would play up the fact that Ambrose is frustrated at Rollins for winning the Intercontinental Championship, something that he couldn't do, but he remains to team with Seth Rollins anyway. So Rollins and Ambrose, while going for the tag team titles, in their final battle with the Revival, Rollins would be in the ring by himself. After some spot, you would have the Revival on the outside. You know how Rollins likes to fly, tope over the ropes. I would have Dean Ambrose in the ring, come up from behind Rollins with a steel chair, and out of clear-cut frustration, nail Seth Rollins in the back the same way, in the same position that he was nailed with the steel chair 3 years ago when Rollins betrayed the Shield. This time, it would be Ambrose betray Rollins. They would lose the opportunity to win the tag team championships. The Revival would ultimately win that feud, and then you can have Dean Ambrose turn heel, battle Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship, and that would be your new IC title feud. The workhorse champion Seth Rollins going against Dean Ambrose, the new heel, and we can get this new persona for Dean Ambrose, dirty, angry, frustrated, just play up that lunatic, because it doesn't come off as a babyface. It would come off that much better as a heel. So that's what I'm thinking with that. Let me know what you guys think. This could be a big angle if done right. Ambrose most definitely needs a reset. A heel turn would absolutely benefit Dean Ambrose, and hopefully WWE plays it right. As of right now, there's a lot of question marks as to where they're going into SummerSlam. That would be the best way to do it. Because if you're going to have the Hardys become broken, you're going to break them away, because we want to see Matt on his own. We want to see Jeff on his own. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose could be that babyface team in the meantime until WWE figures out what to do with the remaining tag teams, or maybe have a new babyface tag team in the division. I think that would be great. Let me know what you guys think about that and that idea for Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose going into the remainder of 2017 in a battle over the Intercontinental Championship. Thank you guys so very much, man. That is the conclusion of the news portion of this podcast. Patreons, stay tuned. You guys are going to get shout-outs for the month, or for the week, rather, for this past week. A lot of new Patreons this month. And we got a couple of special shout-outs along the way to close this episode of Off the Script. Remember, Battleground tonight, live on Twitch, reactions, and then the review immediately following the Twitch stream. Monday, episode number 179, part number 4 of Off the Script this weekend. Lots of news, so I got a whole new day of news coming for you on Monday, plus our what we learned from Battleground on Monday as well. Lots of stuff coming up, plus Monday Night Raw. Gonna be a big week, as always, right here on the channel. Thank you so very much. Follow me on Twitter, at JD from NY206, and hit that subscribe button down below for the best WWE news and rumors right here on YouTube.com. And make sure you guys hit that bell for your notification. audibletrial.com/offthescript and barbershopwindow.com/offthescript with the coupon code JD17 at checkout. Thank you so very much. Patreon's coming up with shoutouts, and I'll see you guys for Battleground tonight, live on the WWE Network. I'm JD. Thank you so very much. Make it a great Sunday, and I'll see you tonight for Battleground 2017. This is going to be the new part of the show, guys, where I show appreciation to all my Patreons. Instead of doing everything on Friday, which I told you there's going to be a new flow to the show. If you guys notice, starting in part 2, I'm going to be doing integral sponsor ads. I want to get my sponsors out there in a better way where we can get right into the news, and hopefully it's a little bit better of a viewing experience for everybody. But I'm going to save the sub-stories for the end of part 1. I'm going to save the Patreon shoutouts for the end of part 3. So everybody's going to be nicely mixed in with Off the Script all weekend long. Before I get into the Patreons, I do want to shout out Tori Collins. Now, I promised her that I would mention this on the podcast this weekend. She actually messaged me on Instagram, and I want to read to you what she wrote to me. You don't know me, but my boyfriend loves you and your podcast. I was wondering if you'd be able to give him a shout out for his birthday. His name is George, but his family and I call him Gio. If you can, I'd be so grateful, and if not, I still thank you for taking the time to read this if you read it, LOL. Thanks, Tori. And then she goes on to say, I'm sorry. His birthday is on Monday, so he had a birthday this past Monday, and we are now on Sunday right before Battleground. I told her then that I didn't have a video planned for Monday until Monday Night Raw review. Not sure how I would get him a shout out. Does he follow me on Twitter? She said she believes so. Well, on any podcast, it would be great. Anytime you do record a video, I'd be super, super grateful. So this goes out to Tori, and this goes out to George, Gio. Happy belated birthday. I thank you for supporting the podcast and just being here as a big part of Team JD. I hope you got everything you wanted for your birthday. I don't know how old you're turning, and hopefully there are many, many more to come after that. And I hope that your girlfriend made it very, very special for you. George, thank you so much for being a member of Team JD, and thank you, Tori, for reaching out to me as well, mentioning that he loves the show and is a big fan of the podcast. That means the world to me. Thank you guys so very much. Patreons for the week that was, man. We had a very, very good week here. Starting off with Joshua, Online Persona Watson. We got Derek Earl McCabe. We have, and by the way, Joshua pledged $5. Derek pledged $10, you fucking beast. Jimmy Skaggs. He raised his $10 pledge to $25. You, sir, are a fucking savage. Thank you so much. Jess W. raised their pledge from $3 to $5.67. So, it's kind of a bizarre number, but thank you so much for the raising of your pledge, Jess. We got Kevin Alvarado pledging $5. Nikos from Greece pledging $1, you fucking savage. $3 pledged by Texan088A. That's Texan088A pledging $3. Chris Moust pledging $1. We got, who else we got here? And that was it. That was it. Decent amount of pledges this month, or this week rather. Decent amount of Patreons this week. Thank you so much, guys. You are all fucking beast in your own way. Thank you so very much. Patreon.com/JD from NY206 is the best way to support the show on a monthly basis. All you got to do is $1 a month, guys. If you're up for it, if you can afford it, $1 a month goes a long way. We got a lot of people listening to this show. A lot of people understand what the content creators, especially in the wrestling community, are going through. If you guys want to pledge and help out, not only me, but all your favorite content creators, as little as $1 a month goes a long way, man. Like I said, a lot of people listen to this show, and if we all collectively band together, we can do a lot of damage and say fuck you to YouTube, man. But thank you all so very much. $1 gets you early access to Off the Script, which most of you are listening to now. Early access on Patreon. You guys get exclusive rights to my Discord chat. That's all for $1 a month, man. The early access on Off the Script comes a long way. Or goes a long way, because a lot of you guys work late hours and you want something to listen to or watch while you're at work. That comes in handy, man. That comes in clutch. So if you guys want that early access to Off the Script, almost a full 12 hours early, as little as $1 a month gets you early access to this very podcast. If you guys want to raise it to $3, you guys get all that, plus you get Off the Script Retro. I've been lazy with Off the Script Retro, and the reason why I've waited on Off the Script Retro is because of problems with IRWNetwork. They have a problem right now with getting everybody paid, and their paywall structure is completely fucked up. I finally got an email about what's going on, and it should all be rectified by Monday. I didn't want to upload the podcast to that platform if things weren't in working order. So I waited and I waited and I waited, and finally I got an answer. Hopefully Off the Script Retro will continue back on Monday. But if you guys want to pledge $3 or more, you got 2 episodes of Off the Script Retro, which are available live on Patreon and IRWNetwork. So if you guys want to go and do that, $3 or more will get you Off the Script Retro. We talked about the 1992 Royal Rumble, and we talked about the WrestleMania 8 pay-per-view. And this coming one is going to be SummerSlam 1992 with the British Bulldog versus the great Hitman Bret Hart for the Intercontinental Championship inside Wembley Stadium. If you guys want $5 or more, Joe Cronin Show and I will be recording very, very soon. It's almost imminent that we're going to be recording Beer Goons, man. I got the beer chilling in the fridge. I got a nice little peach sour to debut on the newly rebranded Beer Goons audio-visual podcast for Beer Goons. Joe Cronin and I talking beer, wrestling, sports, personal life. It's going to be fucking fun. Just a chill podcast. We're going to be having a good time, man. So that's Beer Goons for $5 a month, and that's going to be awesome as well. Thank you to everybody that supported through the Patreon page. You guys are fucking awesome. You guys keep this machine running. this machine known as Off the Script running. Thank you all so very much. And once again, if you guys want to pledge, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Thank you all so very much. I'll see you guys tonight for Battleground 2017. I am JD. Live stream tonight, review, and more content coming on Monday morning. I am JD. Thank you all so very much for your continued love and support, and I'll see you tonight as the modern-day Maharaja goes inside the Punjabi prison against the Viper, Blandy Borton. I'll see you guys tonight, Battleground 2017, and we'll see what happens with the WWE Championship as we head right on in to SummerSlam in Brooklyn. I'll talk to you guys later.